I still have a postcard in my office over my desk in the river room in Morrisonville, which says something about the 4th of July.
Yeah, when we used to do the 4th of July parade, I'd carry that big old fork, right?
I love it.
For Adirondack Eats.
I have some very special memories along the top of that desk, and that's one of them. Derek Muirden, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's good to see both of you.
Last time I saw you, you were saying, well, I'm kind of semi-retired, and you won't be seeing my face on Mountain Lake Public Television anymore. So the 27th annual Business Expo comes around at the field house, and who's standing at the display?
I think I've hit them all. I can't miss them. I enjoy seeing everybody else. There are a lot of people here who are underwriters of ours. The people have underwritten in the past, former underwriters, viewers, members, and it's a great way to, as you know, to say thank you. You know.
How many years have you had an association with that television station?
Going on 26, but 50 in the business.
Yeah. 50 in the business.
50.
Well, if you live long enough, you'll catch up to me. My first radio show was in 1952, so figure out, do the math.
Okay, no, you got me beat because I was 7.
Oh, you were.
And I didn't start in making movies, not on the professional side, until 1959.
See, that's a couple years before I came here to work at the radio
You're the
station.
senior. I have great respect for my seniors.
Old as dirt. All you have to do is take a whiff, and you can tell.
I did start in a radio station. Did you know that?
You told me that once.
I loved radio.
I did too.
I was the guy who ran back to the AP wire room, with the paper coming out of the television, and ripped the pages for the Portland Beavers away baseball games, Portland, Oregon Beavers, and I took them in, and they were being typed in wherever the game was, Spokane, Seattle, wherever, and I'd take them to the guy, Jim, on the board, and he'd put them up. He had 2 reel-to-reels behind him. One was just murmuring crowd, the other was cheering crowd. He had a regular baseball bat under the table between his leg and a souvenir bat, and he could do a sound of a hit. He could do the sound, hit his wallet, that would be a ball. Ball 1, ball 2, high fly out on the left side. He cranked this knob up and
he actually recreated play-by-play.
And I ripped the pages, and my biggest fear all season long was to get the innings out of order.
Oh my gosh, that would have been funny. You know, I said this before on television, and you may have known this, but former President Ronald Reagan was on the radio doing exactly that thing before there were those ancient teletype machines that you and I know and love, with the clackety-clack from the movies. But in the days he did it, it was only a ticker, and so he had to recreate stuff from the figures that came on the ticker machine, and he recreated ball games. So that's amazing.
He was a good actor.
And I'll bet you not more than 5 people watching this program on Hometown Cable have ever seen or heard of one of those teletype machines, because all that stuff comes via a regular printer now on the internet. And there was telephone lines in those days.
There was AP, you had 2. UPI. You had AP, UPI, and then if you could afford it, or the station you were working at could afford it, you remember there was a fax machine.
Oh, we finally got one.
Holy moly.
I hated that paper because my hands always sweat, and I would run the black ink all over my arm.
And this little roller would go around, and the first thing that would come out would be the caption underneath the picture. And sometimes the caption would say, I remember I went in there one day and looked, and it said, Churchill dead. It took 7 minutes for the whole picture to roll out, and the rest of the caption. For 7 minutes, you didn't know how he died. It was the most suspenseful moment in my entire career.
2 days ago, somebody on Twitter, a reporter from the UK, sent out a message saying Queen Elizabeth is dead.
Really?
It was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
They were practicing for an obituary in the future, and they sent it all over the countryside.
Well,
isn't that amazing?
One of the first things I wrote in journalism class my first year in college were future obits. You know, we all did that.
Oh, yeah.
And you just update them so you can get them out.
They still do deaths on the radio around here. I can remember back in the.
I hope we're not dying right now, Gordie.
Oh my God! Well, I've died on the vine many, many times. I'm still upright and standing. People ask me about you when I say I know you. How many restaurants has he visited? Have you ever counted them up?
No.
But isn't it fun to meet those people?
I love meeting those people. I'm getting ready to do another roadside restaurant story that'll be coming up on Mountain Lake Journal with Tom Halleck here before too long. And, you know, Gloria's in Mineville was one of the great places. And she couldn't find a buyer when she wanted to retire that would do it the way.
How sad. How many people would get in their car and ride for an hour and 15 minutes just to have that home-cooked meal at Gloria's?
Oh, my God.
And the dessert table, Derek. Come on.
Yeah, and she would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do everything.
Oh, sure.
And she couldn't find anybody that wanted to do that. So what class? She closed it down.
Yeah.
Went on a cruise with her husband. Let somebody else do the cooking.
Love it. I find myself talking about her and mentioning that place about once a month to somebody with whom I'm conversing. So you've done it for years.
Yeah.
You're going to still continue to do things.
Yes.
How can you help it?
It's the thrill of it. It's the show business. It's let's put on a show and charge our parents 10 cents a piece. You know, that's how it started in the backyard under the apple tree, literally.
And if you didn't do it, you would dream about it. People who know me know I haven't been on the radio in 18 years.
Yeah, but they think you're still on the radio.
And I still dream about it every night.
Do you really?
Yeah, every night.
What are you doing in your dreams on the radio?
I'm trying to splice tapes that are broken in 15 occasions, trying to take swear words out of speeches, trying to make drunken politicians sound fairly sober, trying to edit music tapes. The equipment always breaks at the last moment.
Always.
So that's what the remnant is in your mind.
Yep.
You talked about reel-to-reel tape recorders. Once again, our young audience has no clue. You talk about records and they say, oh, those round things?
Yeah.
That could refer to just about anything?
I started out in the commercial television business watching 15 feature-length motion pictures a week and then editing them to time.
That's horrible. I could never do that.
Well, you know, they give you a musical and say take 20 minutes out of it.
Yeah.
A musical.
Yeah.
The first thing you don't cut out of a musical is the music.
Is a song.
Right. So people got from one song to another in a big hurry, I'm telling you.
Rod, you've amassed many thousands of fans in the North Country because you're good at what you do.
I love it.
I hope you'll hang around for a long time, Derek.
Thank you, Gordie.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Hello to everybody at Mountain Lake.
I certainly will. We're big fans of yours in Calvin. You know that.
It works both ways.
I'll see you on TV.
I'll see you later.
They just covered me up with that, Cal.
Eric, how are you? Eric Jacoby?
Good morning.
Oh, wow, you're here again?
Yes, Gordie. This is the 22nd year, 23rd year?
It's the 27th for the Expo, and you've been here that many years?
Yes, sir. We love coming to the Expo, get a chance to meet a lot of new people and visit with our old friends. It's always a good time for us.
Well, you were only 7 when you first came. You were only about this. Well, actually.
Well, no, we started a little bit later on in our career when we came to radio. And then in Plattsburgh in 1992, it's my main area of business. I find the people over here in Clinton and Essex County to be very refreshing. And
God, I'm glad to hear that.
And
I don't think I've ever been called refreshing.
Oh, Gordie. Yes, sir. You know, I mean, it's a nice way of saying a lot of things.
You know, I was just talking for a few minutes with Eric. Who were we just talking to, Calvin? I just had lost my train of thought. Oh, Derek Muirden.
Yeah.
From Mountain Lake.
Oh, yeah?
Sorry, Derek.
Yeah.
Derek and Eric.
Yeah.
And we were talking
Must
about...
be a good-looking guy.
Oh, when we both started in the business long before you did, perhaps before you were even born.
Well, let me see, 1955?
He's still going, you're still going.
Yep.
I was just going to college in 1955.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You are an old bastard, Gordie.
Oh, God, an old guy. But I hadn't been on the radio in 18 years. We were just talking about that with Derek.
Oh, man, you know.
Memories.
Yeah, I was thinking of you on the way over here.
That's pathetic too,
And I don't want to say this on tape, but I'm going to say this. I was thinking about talking to the boss about something called Gordie Little with a little more on Plattsburgh. Maybe a little feature on our stations,
Wouldn't that be funny? Except that
I know you'd throw a few hand grenades, but
I'm working harder, more hours now than I did when I was on the radio.
I'm sure you are.
I've done a lot of these programs with Calvin, and I write columns in all the Denton newspapers, and still
I've seen
in the
them.
Press
Yeah,
Republican, and life goes on.
Busy guy, and always with the North Country in the forefront of your thoughts.
That's the whole thing.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Like you said, the people are refreshing over here.
They are. I mean,
good times and bad, they stay with people they like.
Yes, sir.
And that counts for a lot, Eric.
It does, and I mean, I'm an old Brooklyn boy, so I'm a New York boy. I'm not a Vermonter.
You lost most of the accent.
Well, I could turn it on.
Oh, I love Brooklyn. But the radio business has changed since we both started in it.
Oh, yes, sir. It certainly has. But the nice thing about it is terrestrial radio still reaches about 95% of the population, and we're local and direct. I know satellite radio has its fans, but in times of need and local emergencies, we're right here for that. We also support a lot of not-for-profit activities. WOKO raised over $330,000 for the Children's Hospital at the University of Vermont.
Think about it.
Yeah, with a lot of help from North Country folks. We had a satellite location at Bill McBride's Chevrolet Subaru. Cool 105 raised over $145,000 last December in a one-week drive for It's Cool to Send a Kid to Camp to Compton for Christmas. So our radio stations really get involved. My counterpart here from WIZN and the Buzz is at the networking session. They too raise a lot of money for not-for-profits, and it's a thing I'm proudest of working for Hall Communications.
It's nice to see that still happening, because many stations across the country have given up public service, even though they're obligated to run a certain number of free public service announcements.
Well, I think our cluster goes above and beyond, and I invite people to reach out to me, Eric Jacobsen, Jacobsen at hallradio.net, and we'd love to help support your not-for-profit local community organization or event.
We'd love to see it happen, Eric.
My pleasure.
Great to see you.
Always a pleasure,
Great
Gordie.
to call your friend. Have a great day.
And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's morning weather.
I love it. I love it. See you tomorrow on the radio.
On the Facebook there.